A major DuBois County auto dealer will close its doors within the next few weeks. We'll tell you more, plus Ferdinand Town Manager Chris James joins me for this week's Monday Conversation, and host Bill Potter brings us tonight's episode of Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin with the pending end of the road for a DuBois County car dealership. Owners of Hassenauer Motor Company in St. Anthony officially announced this morning their decision to close shop for good at the end of business coming up Saturday, September 12th. The dealership has been in business since 1922 and has served customers all across DuBois County and southern Indiana as a whole. Now, back in April of 2009, Hassenauer's was one of 1,100 General Motors dealerships that was notified by GM that its franchise agreement would not be renewed in the fall of 2010. Company officials were told at that time that they could continue to sell used cars and trucks and maintain the company's service business, but they could not sell new vehicles. Thus, the dealership became a used vehicle dealer and vehicle service stop at that time. However, company president John Welp and co-owner Woody Fisher said that come October, GM will be discontinuing its medium-duty parts and service program nationwide. Welp says without that program, the company will no longer be able to keep up with customer demand.
What the medium-duty parts and service agreement was that we could order any part for any GM line and sell it like any franchise dealer could. We also had the GM website with all the technical information for all the GM lines, and we also had programming for computers and modules in all GM lines. So it was a lot of information and a lot that we had to sell and to give our customers. But once that goes away, then we will no longer be able to access any of that. So we felt that it was time for us to exit the business.
Both Welp and Fisher have spent a combined 98 years with the Hassenauer Motor Company and are thankful to employees and customers for the many wonderful years of service. Welp says despite a few bumps along the way, it's been a fun ride for both him and Fisher.
You know, it's been a long career for both of us, and we had a lot of ups and downs. When we first bought the business in 1989 from our fathers, there were three of us partners. In 1994, Larry Broom, who was a third partner, was killed in an accident at home. So that was a big thing that happened. And going forward, we lost our franchise in 2010 with Chevrolet. We were able to get this agreement, so, you know, we just hung in there.
Once again, Hassenauer's final business day will be Saturday, September 12th. A Shoals couple wound up in jail over the weekend following an investigation into their growing of marijuana. At about 1:50 last Monday, the Martin County Sheriff's Department received an anonymous tip that marijuana plants were being grown at a home in the 11,000 block of Sherfick School Road just east of Shoals. Minutes later, Martin County Sheriff Travis Roush, along with another deputy and an Indiana State Police trooper, went to the home. They found 2 marijuana plants and several other starter plants growing. While deputies were obtaining a search warrant, police say 54-year-old Paul Salmon of Shoals arrived at the residence. He was arrested and taken to the Martin County Jail without incident. After getting the search warrant, officers tried to get anyone else in the home to come to the door by knocking, but nobody answered. Officers were about to execute the search warrant when 55-year-old Janet Treadway, also of Shoals, showed up in the garage. She was also arrested and taken to the Martin County Jail without incident. Now, following the 2 arrests at around 3 o'clock last Monday, police finally executed the search warrant and found a small amount of marijuana, while a state police helicopter found a pair of marijuana plants that were more than 2 feet tall. Police found additional marijuana plants some 650 feet east of the home. In all, police say more than 30 grams of marijuana was found. Salmon and Treadway are both charged with level 5 felonies for cultivating marijuana and maintaining a common nuisance. Indiana State Police, Indiana Conservation Officers, the National Forest Service, and the Army National Guard all assisted Martin County Sheriff's deputies. Although Indiana is dealing with a teacher shortage, lawmakers say one area where jobs will be plentiful over the next few years in education is in life sciences and technological innovation. Lawmakers are touting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM teaching, as a strong future profession for young Hoosiers who are currently going to school for teaching. Indiana is projected to add 115,000 new STEM jobs by 2018. 40% of those jobs will require post-secondary education leading to an associate's degree, while the other 60% would require a 4-year degree. Now, these STEM jobs are part of a recruitment effort by the Indiana Commission for Higher Education. The commission is funding the jobs through grants out of a program that was established by state lawmakers back in 2013. Officials say the grants will allow organizations to recruit, prepare, place, and retain educators in schools where there are shortages of teachers with appropriate training and expertise in STEM subject matter. District 48 Senator Mark Messmer says this program is already working wonders.
The STEM Teacher Recruitment Grant Program is a positive step toward ensuring critical teaching positions are filled with educators prepared to help Hoosier students achieve success in college and high-demand STEM industries.
New or existing nonprofit organizations are eligible to apply for a portion of nearly $10 million to support their efforts to recruit, train, retain, and place STEM field teachers in high-need Indiana schools. To be eligible for the grant, applicants must present programs that result in people becoming licensed or trained to teach science, technology, engineering, or math in an Indiana public K-12 school. Individuals who receive program support from these grants have to seek employment at an eligible Indiana school. The full grant application and budget worksheet is online at in.gov/CHE. Winning entries will be selected by a committee of K-12, higher education, and workforce stakeholders. The winners will be announced coming up in November of this year. And finally tonight, the Indiana Department of Education is rolling out a new mobile app intended to make communication between school officials and parents easier. Indiana Schools Superintendent Glenda Ritz says communicating effectively with students as parents has been a consistent challenge that she hopes the app will help to alleviate. The app, called IN School version 2.0, will allow local school administrators to share information directly with parents and teachers via smartphone or tablet. In addition to sending out messages from school administrators, the DOE will be able to share relevant news, videos, and school performance data. The app will also feature information and links to wraparound services and assistance that parents and students may be eligible for. All right, coming up after the break, Chris James talks comprehensive planning in this week's Monday Conversation, and later, warm temperatures are set to be the norm this week, and tonight's episode of Inform. We're back after this.